Hi, I'm Emma Jefferies and this is Emma's Next Stop. This pop-up story recounts a realisation I had last summer on my regular bus journey into Newcastle. As I got into the bus, I was really reflecting on a presentation that had given me the opportunity to consider what I had learnt as a designer, researcher and educator. In front of me were two tourists to the region, and they pointed out a sign saying Amble the friendliest port, and commented, wouldn't this be a lovely place to live? Overhearing this conversation, my mind started to drift. I was reflecting back on a place where I grew up. Amble, a former mining town, really has a strong sense of local community. However, because of its isolation away from major cities, there's limited job opportunities and really not a lot for the young to do. This has resulted in different types of social issues. I then started to get out my sketchbook and map out how my skills as a designer, researcher and educator could be used to positively consider the social issues occurring in Amble. As a designer, I really love to think through problems, be inspired by the world around me and understand and innovate how humans interact and develop. My interests in social problem solving started during my multimedia degree, where the briefs I most enjoyed were the ones where I could explore social issues, because to me they were more challenging and I could really relate to them. More recently in my design practice, I've been interested in understanding how to invite users into the design space so that they feel confident to contribute. As a researcher, the approach and findings gained through understanding and innovating visual and collaborative inquiry in design has informed and developed how I engage in social spaces. My approach starts with an immersion into the context, so I can understand how people see and do what they do. Then, just as in this pop-up story, I create artefacts to aid and facilitate conversation. To understand problems and context, I engage in reflective inquiry. I am explicit about the processes I use, but also I love to be questioned on my approach and learn from others. As a design educator, I've honed my listening skills and really developed an enjoyment of enhancing creative practices in other people. Each mindset's been influenced by people, places and things. In a university context, I've gained a lot from colleagues at Northumbria's design school from how they question, critique and reflect, but also from my students because they have a different worldview than my own. In terms of people, I have a natural curiosity for the world around me and have a question for everyone I meet. In terms of things, I actively seek to update my knowledge, reading thinking books and learning books, but also I engage in literature to understand the past and understand how to enter the future. Reflecting back on that bus journey, I'm applying to be part of the Radical Redesign Team for 3 reasons. First, I want to be involved in meaningful projects where I can use design in a positive way for a group of people. Second, I want to understand for myself the role that design can play in social problem solving, mostly because I'm tired of hearing the dialogue that designers can change the world. The question should be with whom and how. And thirdly, this experience would help me develop skills and knowledge that I could bring back and apply in my local region. If I had the opportunity to join your team, 3 classes I'd like to run with my new colleagues are Visualisation in the social space, outlining which techniques are appropriate to facilitate, explore, synthesise and communicate. Class 2, Understanding Design Inquiry. With the aim of gaining insight into different problem-solving processes in design, each teammate would design a new cocktail using 5 key ingredients, whilst adopting a persona developed during my PhD. At the end of this lesson, classmates would share what they have produced and talk through their process. Class 3, Social Problem Solving Workshop. I would like to enable the team to visualise the social problem solving process in order to understand where barriers are and improvements can be made. When it comes to which classes I would like the other Radical Redesign teammates to share, I would like the policy teammates to share the basics and best practices in social policy. I would like the business teammates to share inspirational social business models, their ideal model, and consider how this can be applied when planning a project. I'm aware that there are rules and regulations when engaging with the community. I would like the community teammate to teach us about the do's and don'ts of working within a community. What drew me to apply for TACSI was the opportunity to work on meaningful projects, to inform policy on the micro and macro through interdisciplinary working, to use my design skills to understand complexity and create bold ideas for the future. Thank you, and I hope you've enjoyed this journey.